Olá a todos, bem-vindos a mais uma conversa da Look Mag. Hoje tenho o enorme prazer de voltar a receber Dani Filth. A razão não podia ser melhor, porque não sabendo ainda quando a banda poderá voltar a Portugal, depois de um concerto fantástico que deram há muito pouco tempo no Lado, a verdade é que estão para lançar o seu novo disco, The Screaming of the Valkyries, com lançamento previsto para 21 de março, e é esse o motivo pelo qual temos aqui o Dani hoje. Dani, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and welcome again to our talks.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, you finished the album in July last year and now it's about to be released. Are you ready for the record to finally see the light of the day?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it was delivered last year, and then it had to fit into a release schedule. It's just how long it takes, really. I guess when you have Christmas in the way as well, and obviously they wanted to backtrack 3 singles to promote the album. But yeah, I should be ready. I've been doing like a month's worth of press.
I know. You must be tired.
Huh? Yeah, I'm a bit exhausted by it all, but it's all good. Can't think of anything worse, really, talking about yourself all day.
Not bad at all. Could be worse, huh? Could be worse.
Yeah.
Now that it's ready, now that the record is ready, are you happy with the result?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my second wind at the record because obviously working on it a lot in the studio, listening to it every night whilst mixing. And then probably 2 weeks after that, was very much into it until I went on holiday to Brazil, and then didn't really listen to it again until just after Christmas when, it's expected to listen through to it to reattune yourself to interviews. But yeah, very happy with it. Production's great. The song's great. We didn't stretch ourselves too thinly by giving people special edition tracks and remixes for various parts of the world. We just delivered the album that we wanted to, and modus operandi, I think, was to just write a very catchy album, albeit extreme metal, but catchy nonetheless.
I think it's both. It has two faces, very hard, very dark, but also very catchy, very, I will say, romantic.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can see that. Yeah, I also can see that. Let's start with the title, which is a beautiful title, The Screaming of the Valkyries. What do you mean with this title, and how did you come about it, and what do you want to say with it?
Well, the title came from the last song of the album, which is Misery, When Misery Was a Stranger, which is probably the bleakest song on the album, but it's filled with a sense of hope because the lyrics are post-apocalyptic, and in a very Dickensian fashion, you're kind of left thinking, well, we still have time to sort this out. It actually hasn't happened. But the title itself refers to a cataclysmic event, the end of the world, as like if you were standing on a beach and you saw a 200-meter tidal wave, in this above you, or if you were walking into a city and then a hydrogen bomb was to go off, that was a very finite moment, and it was born, I think, out of the realization that we're seconds away from midnight on the doomsday clock. So metaphorically speaking, if you were to hear, around the world, this horrible screaming, keening sound from the heavens, you saw flashes of light up there, realizing the heavens were being overrun, and Asgard was about to fall, Ragnarok was about to occur, which is the end of everything, a great renewal. In that moment that was it. This is that moment, the end of everything. And that's basically where the title comes from. On the other hand, it is a rather good heavy metal album title as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because the name Valkyria, it's a very strong name, and it brings us all to the mythology and the strong women that choose between the guys that are going to another place and not. So it's very strong. I want to, in the press release, we can read that. I have to read this. The album is a succinct summary of the ghosts of cradles past and a bold step into the future. I would like you to explain a little bit more about these
But I don't
two.
know because I didn't write that, so I've got no idea what they're talking about.
You don't, because I think they are.
I write my own press release, and I have to answer that. It's like I understand where they're getting with it, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's yeah, we've got a strong identity as a band, and we decided to. In what way we didn't actually physically go, you know what, we're going to write some stuff that sounds like old stuff. It's just the way it went, circumstance. I don't know why, but just I can't even describe influence because it just changes with every day. The world's a busy place. There's plenty of art, literature, theatre, books, magazines, nature. There's so much that influences people. You can't say, well, this came from this or this came from that. But what I do know is we have a strong identity. Some of the songs, when they were presented to me, gave me like strong, palpable reminiscences about our previous works. And that could have come from having fresh blood injected into the band with two new members, or it could be the fact that we were touring a lot and playing a lot of older material. Obviously, we want to keep our fans happy, so we're not going to stray too far from the beaten path and suddenly do a doom metal album or an album full of Dutch techno or anything like that. But we do have one eye on the future. It's a very modernistic sound, very clinical, very crisp. And we employed a few techniques in the studio to achieve that. But I think you don't have to worry about being self-plagiarizing or to extent self-cannibalism within the band, because it's our band, it's our sound,
Yeah.
and nobody complains about a band like AC/DC sounding the same. In fact, that's what you want. You don't want them to sound like Rainbow or Kiss. You want them to sound, the next album sound like AC/DC, like classic AC/DC. And I think that's the same with any band. Your favorite albums define what a band should sound like to you.
And this is definitely a Cradle of Filth album, one of the best in my opinion, because
Thank you.
I've heard it already. How was the process of creating the album? Did it take a long time, and did you change anything in your writing process?
No, as I explained, we experimented with a few things in the studio. We knew we had to write out a new album. It's always going to be different from the previous album anyway, because of circumstance. Years later, technology's progressed. We all approach it in a different way. It's got different songs on it, so it's always going to be a different record. Even if we use the same producer, the same studio, it's still wrought by the same hands, but in a different time space. Two new people joining the band, that may have helped. And we wrote the majority of the record whilst touring. I mean, we were very, very prolific touring for 4 years. We had some time at home, obviously, but we did find ourselves in hotel rooms, making us, adjustments to songs, writing songs. Basically, we had to mutate and survive. And I mean, there isn't a checklist when it comes to writing an album. I mean, there obviously is, but not to actually creating the songs. And
Yep.
it's art, so it's ungovernable, or should be ungovernable.
Yeah, it should be like that. There are 9 songs in the album. Do you have a favorite one?
Well, I should love all my children equally, but that being said, Exsanguine Dracula is my favorite.
Really? Why?
Because it reminds me of when we toured with Dissection. It's got the same vibe that we were envisaging. It was just from that period of time. I just remember writing songs around then and having the same feeling when I heard this song. And it has that kind of energy as well. It's very Dissection-like, even the song, like Iron Maiden on crack. It's and that just appeals to me.
It just appeals to you. Each song tells a story, or there is a connection. I don't think there is, but I have to ask you this. Or there is a connection between each song. Or
No, there's no
no,
connection.
there's no
No,
connection.
no, they all stand on their own merits. I mean, yeah, there will be connections through dark romanticism
Yeah.
or whatever the subject matter might be, vampirism, spirituality, but they are not linked. They are all individual um, monoliths.
Hmm. The first song is to live deliciously. When I hear this song, it sounds to me like a mantra, like a way of life. Like let's do it the best we can and take the most of it from being here. Do you feel the same about this
Yeah, I mean
song?
that's exactly what the song's about. Yeah,
Ah, it's a good mantra, don't you think?
absolutely.
Let's live and be happy, the most delicious if we can.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, album starts on a positive note.
Yeah, absolutely. The one I have to confess, the one that got my heart is Non Omnius Moriar. Is absolutely a fabulous song. Can you tell me a little bit about this song?
Well, non omnis moriar is um, obviously a Latin statement
Yeah.
that means not all of me shall die, which then means that you will leave something behind in life, your heart, your emotions, your feelings, your work, your art, or you leave it with a person. And this song is about a bridge between two people, someone that's about to die and someone that they care very much about. And they're basically just saying, don't mourn me. We'll be together again soon in our Albion, our own personal place. Our love will survive the grave.
The lyrics are absolutely wonderful. Congratulations. It's a very touchy song. It's been with me since I heard it. Uh, Wonderful. Do you think I one of the things in this song that catch me more, although everything, your voice, the lyrics, it's Zoe's voice. Do you think when she entered in 2022, she's given Cradles a new intensity of the sound? I know that she's married now with Marek and everything, but do you think, because I love her voice, I love the voice that she has, I love all of her. Do you think it brings something to the cradle sound?
Well, evidently, yes. I think both her and Donny both brought something.
Dolly both, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I think it works well. I mean, I wouldn't have her singing on every. It just wouldn't be Cradle of Filth if it was
of
on
course.
every song. It would be Lacuna Coil or you know someone that marries female. But it works where it works. It works really well. And yeah, her contribution to the record is amazing. Um, and yeah, for this particular song and Non Omnis Moria, When Misery Was a Stranger, Demagoguery, even, because
Yeah.
she sings on the chorus there, um, Malignant Perfection, it just bolsters the chorus. But I think this call and response only works in really specific moments, and this being one of them. Um, and yeah, I think that's part of the attraction to the song is the Beauty and Beast vibe. It's got a very, very, very strong chorus.
Hmm. Yes, it is. Is it difficult for you to choose where to put Zoe's voice? It's a difficult process, or in your mind it's easy to see that?
Well, it's not a case about that. It's about writing a song and knowing where each instrument, should serve its best.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just comes as part and parcel of the natural progression of writing a record.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you have a lot of experience because this is your 14th album with Scott Atkins. Also, he produced, recorded, and mixed it. Was it something different on the production of the album, like the new technology that we have, or everything was the same?
But like I said before, it's a new record, new songs, different time, technology a little bit better, yeah, but I don't think that makes a huge amount of difference. I've heard so many shitty sounding records lately. I think they sounded better back in the day, to be honest. Um, no, it's circumstantial. It's about everything. Yeah, there were a few techniques we employed, different mics we used, even just different techniques on playing. Like different styles on the drums, different styles on the guitars, tiny little changes that all build up to making a vast difference.
The album comes in a kind of crescendo of emotions, and then it ends with "When Misery Was a Stranger." Why did you choose this specific song to end the album?
It was an end song. As soon as we heard it, it just went, "That's the final song of the record."
You
It's
had
obvious.
no doubt.
Yeah, it's obvious when you hear it.
Yes, I do understand that. I do understand that because it comes in cover, and then you have the explosion all over the place. The album cover is absolutely incredible. Can you talk to me a little bit more about it?
Not really. I left everything to the artist, Roberto Diaz. I found him online. We talked a little bit. I didn't know whether he's going to be the perfect person. Then I realized he was. I sent him out lyricism, and he did his own interpretation of that. And yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you can look into it and find all kinds of symbolism from being one of the graces to being Statue of Liberty. You know,
Yep.
it's open to interpretation. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of art, and it has that kind of look as if it's been stolen from an art gallery.
Yes, it does. A little bit of Bacon there. Hmm?
Sorry.
A little bit of the Francis Bacon is all over the place with the colors, the red and the black and everything. I think it's very
I guess
cool.
so. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, it's very cool. Are you looking forward to play this record live?
yeah. Absolutely. Well, we played "Malignant Perfection" already. Um, I guess we'll be playing the singles on our forthcoming tours as well. So yeah, absolutely.
After 30 years, your voice still's incredible. Um,
Not after all
how,
these interviews I've been doing, that's for sure.
how do you keep it that way?
Not doing loads of interviews.
Yeah, I think you're supposed must be very, very tired.
Well,
You
I'm on a downtime. To me, you know, getting back to the level of intensity of playing shows seems like a mile away. And people, they say, "Oh, can you just do a scream for us now?" And I'll be like, "No," and they'll be like, "Why? Why not?" And I say, "Because I'm on my vocal rest. I'm like a car that needs, you know, if you're going to take a racing car out on a track, you have to build up through the gears before it even warms up, and that's me. I'm not touring at the moment, so I'm just on downtime. Uh, I won't when I'm on tour. I don't hardly do any interviews because it's tiring on the voice. So while I'm on downtime, I'm doing interviews, and then I get to the working myself back up to performance standard, and then the emphasis will then be on preserving the voice, keeping it good.
do you have a special preparation before a gig or no?
Yeah, loads of little things that all add up to the same, level of intensity. A lot of them don't work for other people, so it's
Yeah.
not even really worth. People say, "When you tutor us on it?" And I say, "I don't know. I've got things I can tell you that will be preventative or help, but vocal wise, I can't really give you much hints because some of the best vocalists I know have tried what I'm doing, they can't do it, and vice versa. I have a friend who's very astute at like sort of opera type stuff, and I can't get my head around that because it's just a different vocal setup. It's a different set of equipment.
Yeah, different equipment. Exactly, exactly. About playing live, do you have any ideas about the visual production of presenting the album on stage?
We do. It's restricted, obviously, by the fact that this year we'll be mostly spending it in America and South America. So obviously, it's going to be very expensive to take what we need. But yeah, we've got ideas. Yeah, absolutely.
Can we have any?
Um,
Can we have any chance, any luck of seeing Cradle during this year in Portugal or not?
um, I'm not sure. Maybe toward the back end of the year, which hasn't actually panned out yet.
Okay.
Um, if not, it will definitely be next year. I mean, we did Europe last year.
Yeah, I did. We saw
Um,
you.
yeah, it was amazing. But this year it's America really, and the summer we have a handful of really big summer festivals which we've joined up with some solo shows with Navosa supporting us. Um, but yeah, we'll see. There's plans for next year. that are being moved around. You know, all the pieces aren't quite in place yet.
Yeah.
We have booking agents sort of working on that as we speak.
I have a request for you. When you come to Lisbon and when you play this album, please ask Fernando from Moonspell to come and sing with you Non Omnis Moriar, because I think your both would be a moment to never forget singing this song.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
What do you think? Do you accept the challenge?
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know if we'll be playing that song, so yeah.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Well, if we do, it'll be at the forefront of my mind. It would. You're right. It would sound great.
Yeah,
but
it would.
Okay, that's just if we are playing that song.
Danny, thank you so much. Please go and rest. Don't give more interviews now.
I've got lots more. Don't worry.
Oh, Jesus. Have a nice weekend. And
yes, you too.
congratulations for the album. It's one of my favorites. It's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To say.
Bye-bye.
It's out next week, March 21st.
March 21st.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Danny. Bye-bye.
Take care.